Hey guys, it's James and we're back with Academagia. So if you don't know, I had computer problems, but everything seems to be okay now. I have the save files work. It took me a while to get things situated. I forgot to back up the mod base for the mod tools. I did a video where I talked about how I use that as a guide, so I don't have to constantly be reloading the game. But thankfully I went on the Academagia forums, made a post, someone privately sent me a message with the mod base, and apparently they watched these videos, so thank you, person. I don't want to say your username just in case you use it for other things and don't want any of that kind of attention, but if you comment and say, hey, that's me, I'll hit like and heart it and all that jazz. But yeah, so thanks to you for giving me the mod base. It really helped. And thank you for saying that you watch my videos. That actually brightened up my day. I'm sorry I didn't respond back, but I really didn't know what to say at the time you sent me that message. Second thing is, you might be hearing music right now. I'm recording music. We're going to see how that works. I was having some problems with DaVinci Resolve and all that stuff while trying to set this up. But I think I fixed it, and if not, I'll just edit this in Vegas. I don't care. But yeah, getting my computer situated has been a problem, getting everything to work how I want it to work. And yeah, so many small things. Like apparently, DaVinci Resolve, which is a video editing program, does not take AVI format, and I use AVI with Dexitory, which is a much better recording than OBS. I only use OBS for Academagia, so it's a whole thing, and it's frustrating, and the only reason I mention it is I spent most of today dealing with that, and I just want to get it off my chest. But we are back with Academagia. This will be a short session just because I'm not entirely sure if everything is 100% okay. So if there is a problem, I just want it to be a problem for 3 episodes and not for 6 episodes. So I'm just going to record for maybe 45 minutes or an hour. Let's see. I don't really remember where we left off because it's been some time, but we seem to be on Thursday. I took a couple notes and I looked in the mod base to see what we need to bring up. Yeah, everything's looking all right. So what we're going to do for today is bring up observation, because we're going to need observation much higher than it is right now later on. Oh, and if you haven't noticed, I decided to increase this window here, and actually I may have to, I'm going to see if I can make that wider. Maybe not, but we'll see. So if you ever want to mess with those menus or these menus, you hit lock layout, you unclick that, and then you can manipulate all this. So let's see. Oh, I can make this larger. Perfect. So we'll do about there, and that should allow me to read everything. And then we're just going to hit lock. Should stay that way, and I can't manipulate it anymore. Very good. And before we get too far, let me just double check what observation is. It's 9. We need to bring it up twice to make it 10. And then after that, we're going to have to use some spells. But that's still good. I still like how observation is under blackmail. I mean, sure, why not? Alright, simple day. We didn't learn anything in class. Observation went up by 1. Cosmetics went up. You have learned about a catalog, which I think we can buy things from. Let's see, Tallulah competed. You have gained preen, which is some kind of social action. A +1 to all social type actions for 5 days. Interesting. That could be useful. And let's see if our friends did anything. And by friends, I mean the people in our clique, not all these randoms. Netta just went to class. Prudence picked a fight with herself and this teacher, who is the Theory of Enchantment teacher. Oh wait, no, that's his detention skills. He's the enchantment teacher. Okay, makes sense. Let's see, Casper Evelyn used her familiar, and might as well check the merit, even though we're probably very low. We're at 461. Actually, no, we're top 4, it looks like. Still not great. Not bad, but, you know, you only get stuff for being number 1. But we're already so below, I'm not even gonna... Maybe towards the end I'll try breaking up our merit, but we'll see. And instead of doing a Library of Longshade today, I just want to see... There's a spell we need to use for the next part of this adventure with Netta. And I need to see how long it lasts. 3 days. Alright. And 2, I need to see if I can use it multiple times. So, we're going to use it Friday and then see if it's in the list on Saturday. But we need this to bring up our athletics, the Glorificus spell. Like all students at the Academagia, you find yourself in the library quite a bit. However, it's not usually quite so aromatic. You sniff. To make sure your nose isn't lying to you, you sniff again. Now you know for sure that your nose is telling the truth. You definitely smell sulfur. You follow the pungent smell of sulfur. As you do, you begin to hear the din of explosions and musket fire. What the hell? This noise gradually grows louder and louder. You round the corner and see a group of books waging war. On one side, you have the books about the army of the Pashate of Sashin, and on the other side, you have texts about the army of the Khedive of the Sassin militia. 2 centuries ago, these two factions fought a long, fierce war over the location of their mutual border. Apparently, their hatred of one another even extends to the written word. This could be a real chance for some excitement, or a good way to get stabbed by tiny bits of fiction come to life. And we have a bunch of green options. So, let's see. Famous dilemmas. Find a book about a famous peacemaker and end the battle. That sounds nice. Athletics, get to cover. Research, quickly read as much as you can about their war. Tactics, and infiltration. I think the peacemaker one sounds the most enjoyable. So, famous dilemmas. You don't want to escalate this conflict. You want to end it. After all, you have work to do. You grab a biography of the Emperor... Oh god, I'm gonna butcher this name. Not like I haven't been butchering names. Let's see. Emperor Heruscus. Sure. A famous man of peace who codified imperial law. You run into the middle of the battle and open the book. The emperor emerges from the pages and gives a passionate speech about understanding and tolerance. After his speech has concluded, the books about the Khedive's forces and the books from the army of the Fasate declare peace and pledge to fight no more forever. But you're not sure just how sincere they are. However, for now, your quick thinking has brokered both peace and quiet. Alright, that was nice. So yeah, glorification brings up planning, athletics, and it can bring up insight. We also brought up our diplomacy skill step, which is nice. I think we maybe need that for some... Actually, probably not. Anything this late game in most of our adventures are pretty high, so even if diplomacy is an option, it's probably too high to use. Let's see. Casper, Tabin, Prudence. Did not succeed at study. Okay. Lambert, Silk, Malacresta, Netta did not succeed at study. And Evelyn did not succeed at study. It's hard to study, you know? So, glorification is still here, so we're going to do 2 more of those. Yeah, I think twice should be enough, and we'll study observation 1 more time to get that to 10. And that should give us a spell we need. Blackmail, observation, and let's start Saturday. You've gone to what you thought was a safe location to practice a few incantation spells. Carefully, you bring the preparations to cast the spell. As luck would have it, just as you're ready to unleash the spell, a student's familiar comes careening down the hall towards you, right in the path of your soon-to-be cast spell. Oh no, fire away! That's terrible! Even if I didn't like the student who has the familiar, it's still an animal, you shouldn't do that. Observation, where can you reroute your spell? And willpower, it can be difficult to do without error, but try to cut your casting short. Well, observation. Gritting your teeth in an effort to hold the spell at bay just a tad longer, you look around for someplace safe to unleash your spell. On the familiar's right side, you see a stack of books. You might incinerate them, but that's better than incinerating the poor familiar. I agree. Oh, concentration, we're good at that. Redirect your spell at the stacks of books. It takes all your might, but you successfully derail your spell enough so that it targets the stack of books instead of the familiar. The books absorb the hit without taking any visible damage. They must be spell-proofed. Okay, weird. The familiar is startled by the blast and scampers back the way it came. Well, at least you didn't hurt the poor little guy. Doubting the familiar would be back down this way anytime soon, you deem it safe to go back to practicing. Sure, because other people can't come and check that out. Oh, what's this? I didn't do an adventure, so why can't I sacrifice a member? What is this? After class, you make to head towards your next destination when Professor Yadi, who is the history teacher, calls out to you. Why don't you stick around for a moment, please? You really don't want to, but it looks like you don't really have a choice. What with being called out like that, you ignore the curious whispers of your classmate as they shuffle out of the vicinity, some slower than others. Don't worry, you're not in trouble or anything, he tries to look comforting, but you can't exactly force yourself to buy the act. I just wanted to remind you that the Kalari exams are coming up. You'll be sure to do plenty of studying, won't you? Man, I've been doing well, okay? You blink rapidly, unsure of what he is trying to tell you. Either the teacher has such high hopes for you that you've been singled out, or he thinks you're going to do so poorly you need extra reminding. You nod quickly, following your classmates away from him. You're not sure if you should feel special or be insulted. Either way, maybe you should hit the books. By the time the Kalari rolls around, you'll be expected to have learned everything every class has to teach. Alright? You decide it doesn't really matter what he expects out of you, or how the teacher thinks you will do. In 10 years, you'll have forgotten his name. As for the next month, well, sure, you probably should study, if only so you can say that you did. Alright. I didn't expect that. Also, don't know why he offers you to sacrifice a member for something so trivial. Let's just double check our classes. So right now I have well, that's a fake 20. I have 11 in athletics and a 10 in study. Botany, we have a 10 in 10, and I think I have a 10 in everything that can be possibly in botany, so that's fine. Dialectic, we have 10 in everything. Glamour, 10 in everything, and 11 at skill. History is a little bit harder to do because there's so many, but we have 10 in 4 of the 9 available subjects. And I have 11 overall and 10 in study, so I don't know, I feel like we're pretty good. Like maybe history, you can bring up some of those lower ones, but I don't think it's worth it. Okay, so we successfully cast Glorificus. Let's see, and we brought up Observation to 10, and we can bring it up even higher. That might be worth it. You increased your Manner of a Champion skill step, which is a war skill. Interesting. Oh, probably from that war, the book war. I've learned about mosaics, which is some lore that you can read if you want. Tallulah, Lambert, Durand have all competed, so good for them. You decrease your stress by 1, that's nice. Netta did not succeed at study, and that's all she did. Interesting. Prudence did not succeed at practice music, and trained in listen. And Evelyn did not succeed at study, but succeeded at using Flourish homework on herself. Alright. So for Sunday, we're gonna do an adventure. I think we're good. Yes, we are fine. We can do that adventure. So we're gonna do that. Okay, we're gonna do selective focus for observation. And try and think if there's anything else I can do, but how's our health? Maybe we need a resting day. Actually, no, we look pretty good. Let's eat at Alice's Tavern. We'll reduce stress by 1, don't need it. But we'll expand conversation and wit by 1, which sounds good. And it only costs 10 pims and we have 178. Also, I don't think we've ever done it, so might as well do it now. And the adventure we're gonna go on is called Desperation. And now that it's not purple anymore, it's a pain to find. There we go. Desperation, yep. Oh, we have to pick our selective focus. And of course it's listed like this and not the way everything else is listed. Observation, there we go.